Good morning, Sam.
Hello,
It's Sam.
morning. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you so much for not leaving me on red. As I'm sure you can imagine, finding guests is it's a bit of a dice roll every time. You know,
struggle, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
The hustle.
Oh, just lost my logo there. That was actually the plug for the merch.
Plug,
you know,
yeah,
that was going to be the T-shirt.
That was planned. It was planned.
Getting on to the main event, I've prepared some questions for you. The aim of the game is to try and get some stuff that perhaps your fans aren't aware of, or you know, some kind of bits and pieces that you haven't touched on before.
Cool.
The first one is actually the ride that changed how you experience theme parks. Not necessarily your favorite, but the ride that really shifted how you think about parks as a whole.
The ride. I don't know about a specific ride, but I would. I'd probably say. Actually, I probably would say Voltron in that aspect, just because it is like a whole package, like from going in the queue and seeing like the electric noise thing that I have above, and just like seeing how far an experience on a ride can be elevated just by theming and experience, and just like the little touches with Voltron. Like before you go up the vertical, spoilers. I know it's been out for a while now. It's been out for a while. Before you go up the vertical launch, you have like a little track which bounces you up and down. And just little touches like that, like you don't need to do, but Europa Park have done that makes you think, okay, this is a special ride. Like, and it just made me think like, Hyperia opened in the same year, same manufacturer, doesn't have that that level of attention of detail that I think kind of it just means that Voltron for me does take it to that next level.
And I think, as you touched on with the effort and the effects and such, if we look at things like Colossus and Stealth that have recently had the introductions of poofs of smoke, and it's kind of like a token gesture. It doesn't really feel like effort per se. You know, you look at Hyperia, we had the splashdown for maybe a month or two, a few months. Now it's been switched off. And I'm almost worried that perhaps when we're on opening season, we're just going to see another poof of smoke in place of there again is, a cheap alternative.
Like you say, it feels like an afterthought, and it's a cheap alternative. It's just, it doesn't, for me, like, it doesn't really add anything to the ride, a poof of smoke. Like the smoke on Nemesis, when it comes out the side of the eye as you're going over the 0G, because that's all part of the story. But just like a poof of smoke on Colossus, it's like, okay, well, great. You've been on Amazon and bought a smoke machine.
It's like someone goes up to you with a party pop and goes, surprise!
It's like, it doesn't make any sense. That doesn't add to the story. It's just like, it's just an effect.
Yeah, absolutely. My next question for you. What is a park or even perhaps a ride that rewards those in slowing down? So somewhere that gets better if you take your time with it and perhaps don't try and rush through. And that could apply even to a queue line.
I would say there's probably two. And I think the first one I would say is Alton Towers, just because I think the mentality of like the British public, like, they want to go to a theme park and they want to rush through, just go on the rides. It's all about the rides. And with a place like Alton Towers, it rewards just slowing down and just taking in the heritage and seeing the little, like, just the little things like the frogs and just walking around the gardens. I think that definitely is a place that rewards slowing down and not just spending the whole day running from one place to the other, because it is a big park and you do spend most of the day just walking around. And another one I would probably say is, we've already touched on it, Efteling. It's a place that it's not about the rides. You need to just slow down. It's a multiple day park where you just take it all in, the fairy tale village and stuff like that. It's definitely a place that rewards just slowing down, being slow, taking it all in, enjoying the atmosphere.
Definitely. There are parks and there are days where I think you just want to run, sprint, beeline from, ride to ride. Thought Park probably is a good one for that, but it's nice to kind of see parks that want you to take it slow and enjoy and experience and take a breath and kind of, experience it.
It's just like a mentality of go into a theme park. You want to get the most out of your money, and you are, most of the people are just paying just to go on the ride. So, I mean, Alton Towers open 10 till 4. You don't have much time to slow down.
No, of course.
Yeah, it does reward slowing down, yeah.
More reason for the annual pass?
Yeah, and or move in house so you are close. That's what I did.
Yeah, love that. Question 3. What is a ride that is more than just the ride itself? So where the setting, the atmosphere, and actually the surrounding area elevates the whole experience?
Well, I did think about this, and for me, it's got to be Nemesis Reborn. Just that entire area is for that ride. Like the whole of Valley is leading up to the big boss, which is Nemesis Reborn. And it's just like, for me personally, I followed the whole construction. It's pretty much how I started my whole social media thing. It's just doing updates on Nemesis. It's more than just a ride. It's a whole experience. As soon as you step into Valley, as you're walking down the hill and then you see it come out through the entrance arch, it's just a whole experience that I think, it's just fantastic. I love it.
I think at this point, Nemesis is practically a cult following, isn't it?
I mean, it is. Yeah, it's got so much like fan fiction and stuff about it. But yeah, it's more than just the piece of metal and a train on a track. It's the whole ride, the whole ride, the experience, the intensity, the story, the alien, the eye. Like, it's just everything. It's so good.
Yeah, it really is fantastic. I'm interested to kind of see what the future of Alton Towers looks like. Obviously, it's a bit of up in the air at the moment. What kind of rides could we potentially see at Alton Towers with those kind of restrictions still in place?
I think we could potentially see rides that are low, but obviously because of the height restriction and stuff. But maybe maybe do something. I think they will continue with the world's first thing. I think it's just ingrained in Alton Towers culture at the minute. Well, forever. I think maybe something to do with the trains, maybe like, I don't know, something unique experience while you're on the train. I'm not too sure, but that wouldn't necessarily mean, that could mean they could say it's a world first in this aspect, but it's not essentially like the layout is a world first. They could keep it low and just have something unique with the trains. Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, fingers crossed for Alton Towers.
I think I'm keeping my ear to the ground. So I don't know what's going on. It needs a lot of work, Alton Towers, but hopefully it comes. It's just a waiting game at the minute, really.
I think you're going to be one of the best sources for the upcoming news, no?
yeah, probably. Yeah, I'm always on the lookout for what's going on.
Good. My next question: what do you think is a park that people experience perhaps the wrong way? It isn't a bad park; it's just one where guests kind of miss what the actual experience is supposed to be.
I'd probably say Blackpool Pleasure Beach. And I was in the same boat where for the first time I went, I was like, it's just old rides. I don't really get it. And a lot of them are rough and that, but like I went essentially just to ride Icon because I'd heard such good things about it. But I think it's definitely a place where unless you're an enthusiast or lived in the local area and grew up with those rides and nostalgia, which I didn't have because I grew up down near London. It's definitely a park that kind of you go in, and my wife was the same. When I went with my wife, she was like, "I'm never going on Grand National again. It's done my back in. Like, I'm never coming to this park again." Whereas I was kind of similar. And then I read more about the history of the park. Watched some documentaries. The old school Blackpool documentaries are fantastic, by the way.
Right. Hard to look at them.
Yeah, and then you kind of. You understand a bit of like the history and the heritage and why like people in the local area, like these rides mean so much to them. So yeah, I would say probably Pleasure Beach. And I was in the same boat. I experienced it all wrong. But yeah, definitely Pleasure Beach.
Oh, that's great.
I think it was Amanda Thompson who said like that they understand they can't just keep relying on nostalgia alone, which, but like the general public who don't have that connection with Pleasure Beach they can't. They need to get new rides in, but there's a balancing act of like keeping these rides like Grand National, but also bringing in stuff like Evictus that is going to bring new people to the park.
Bonus question. Yeah. Are you on the ticketed event for the first to rise?
I am. Yeah, I am. I am. I think everyone is, aren't they?
No, I'm not because I'm absolutely terrified. I'm on Cyclonator at Paulton's Park and I'm screaming profanity the entire time next to children that are like laughing.
Oh, yeah.
So the constant.
Me too, but I'm looking forward to, I do like gyro swings, but other flat rides I'm not so much of a fan, but gyro swings I can handle.
Yeah, good. Wow. I'll tell you what, I'll keep an eye out for the review and you can tell me how it is.
Yeah.
From the ground. What do you think is a ride that is misunderstood? Perhaps it's judged too quickly, maybe due to age or roughness, but actually you enjoy it?
I would say 13 at Alton Towers now, just because when I first rode that, I was like, it's pretty boring. Like, there's not really much to it. It was kind of sold as this a really extreme thrill ride with all the marketing and stuff, and I kind of didn't get it because it was just a drop track. But the more I get on, I think it's the older I get, the more I appreciate just like the calm rides with just like a cool element and the theme and stuff. I think 13 is definitely one where I personally didn't appreciate and understand. But the more I get on, I think it is the older I get, the more I appreciate just having something a bit tamer to whet the appetite.
When you said 13, the only thing I can think of is when I think it was like BBC did like a promo for it, and then that guy goes to the job and he's like,
yeah, the guy's acting as if he didn't know what was going on. He was like,
you would have thought he was on the Smiler or something, you know?
Yeah,
or perhaps even Rita.
Acting up for the cameras, I reckon.
Yeah. Question number 7 before we get into perhaps another bonus question.
Cool.
If you could experience a ride again for the first time, which ride and what moment would hit you differently now?
Oh, I did think about this one. It's definitely Hyperia for me, just because we spent so long watching it go up and like all these crazy elements that we'd never seen before in this country. And then watching like the Outer Bank thing go up, what's it called? The Crema Roll. Watching that go up, and we were all thinking like, we've never experienced anything like that before. What is it going to feel like? And then being privileged and lucky enough to ride it on the night before on the press night, it was just such an atmosphere. I was like, I'd love to be able to go back and experience that again. Just the first time of like going up that lift hill, see it, like hearing the music as you're going up, not knowing what it's going to feel like. The drop, like we'd never experienced anything like that before. So nobody knew what it was going to feel like. And then after that first ride, it being like, blimey, that was incredible. And then like, I loved it so much. Like every opportunity I could get down to Thorpe Park, I would stop past Thorpe Park, and just keep riding Hyperia over and over again. And I think I overdid it. And I've ridden it so much now, it's kind of lost its appeal, which is why I quite like close season. When you have a break and you get months and months of not being able to go on it, it kind of gives you a reset. So I am looking forward to going back, possibly opening day, just to get back on it and get those feelings back again. They lose something.
It's called a tolerance break.
Yeah.
It turns out I skipped a question, but what is a ride that genuinely scared you? It might not have been, due to intensity, but one that you remember thinking, cool, f*** me.
So I'm going back a while now. I think it was before COVID. I think it's 2019, 2018 or something. And this was when I was just kind of like, because I always enjoyed roller coasters and theme parks as I was a kid, playing Rollercoaster Tycoon and stuff. But living in Essex, like your local park is Adventure Island. You don't have those big thrill rides. Awesome. So like me and a friend went over to Energylandia, and this was the time when Energylandia was like the hot thing. Like they just built Zadra, and it was just like, it was so exciting. And there was so much buzz about RMCs and how they feel and like how they're just an unreal experience. So we went over there, and I was like thinking, I'd never been on something like this before, like something with these elements, and I just didn't know how it was going to feel and the buzz. And I remember going up that lift hill thinking, bloody hell, like what is going on? This is insane. Like I'd only really done like the UK parks, which are like, you don't have the things like the ejector airtime, the stalls, especially way back then. So I was genuinely scared, especially with a lap bar as well. That I was genuinely scared that ride did scare me, and it's massive as well.
Oh, brilliant. Are you a hands up or hands down kind of guy? Do you hold on to the restraints, or is it kind of leaving it to the gods?
I'm a bit of an in-between. Like I'll do the occasional hands up, but most of the time I'll just like put my hands on my lap and sit just awkward.
Yeah, I can't touch the restraints. I'm a big like cleanliness freak, right? So I see people with their snotty noses and stuff, and I'm like, nah, I'm not touching it. I'm just going to brave it, you know.
Just put my hands on my lap, hands in the air.
Yeah, literally. So I've asked this of everybody, and I assume you've probably got something to hand or within the room. What is a piece or an item of theme park memorabilia that is particularly important to you or that you're proud of?
Oh, I'll go and get it. Give me a second.
Yeah, of course.
Where is it?
12 seconds later.
Right. This is a bolt from when they were building Nemesis Reborn at Alton Towers. The track would come on like little brackets at the end on the back of the lorries. And this is a bolt from that connected the track to one of the brackets. It means a lot to me just because me and my friend Beth, we followed the entire construction of like Nemesis all the way through. We'd go to the park multiple times a week, like sitting up on the observation platform, just watching it all happen. And just like special moments watching the last piece go. Yeah, pretty much that. Even just like little moments, like when I remember I was on the way home from Alton Towers and I was just driving and we saw, me and my wife saw a piece of track going in, like it was being held at like a depot nearby. So we thought, let's follow that. So we weirdly followed the lorry to see where it was going and stuff. And just like, that whole construction period was just like a high point for me and for Alton Towers, just because everything was looking up. Like Nemesis was going in, they'd put in like plans for Toxicator, Project Horizon plans went in, like everyone was like, the place was buzzing. Everyone was so excited. So there was a lot of excitement around the place. And so that is just a piece of Nemesis construction history, I guess.
Does it symbolise more the kind of glory days of Alton Towers to you, as it were?
Unfortunately, yeah. I'm still clinging on to hope that things are coming, like big things are coming. But the more you hear, especially from staff who are just disappointed and like being caught up in the Merlin cuts and stuff, it just breaks my heart. Like I'm still clinging on to hope that there's still better things to come. But at the moment, it's not a very exciting time for Alton Towers, really. They've got the people with the ideas, but I think whoever's in charge of the cash is keeping them hostage.
I'm getting visions of a big bin bag with a $sign on it.
Yeah. I mean, we'll all chip in. I'll chuck a tenner in. It'll be all right.
Amazing. So the inception of CoasterTog and how it all came about from the early stages and kind of how it's transformed and also what you've got planned for the future.
So I originally started CoasterTog just on Instagram, just as a way to like meet friends who are in the kind of theme park space, just because I just moved up near to Alton Towers. I literally moved here just to be near that park. Yes, I am weird and sad. It was just kind of a time where it's like, okay, I'd like to meet some friends who could, like, I can meet and go to the parks and just experience things with. So, and my job is I'm a photographer and videographer. So I kind of started going there with my professional camera and just taking pictures of the rides and stuff. And that kind of got me kind of talking to people on Instagram and just like meeting up a load of friends. And then it kind of spiraled into the whole, well, I've done that now. There's only so many rides I can take photos of. Only so many different angles of the Smiler I can take photos of anyway.
Without breaking in.
Yeah, without breaking in. So then I started kind of, TikTok at the time was kind of a big thing. It was on the rise. Like my wife had it. I never had it. And she was like, oh yeah, this is a really cool app. Like you should download it. There's loads of stuff on there. So I did. And it kind of like, it clicks onto your interest pretty quickly. So I was scrolling and then I was seeing like people like Ben F and stuff, like doing his series on like Alton Towers and like theme parks and all the facts and stuff. I thought, oh, okay, that sounds like fun. And I know I've started to learn quite a little bit about that. And I've always been kind of into like video editing and that sort of thing just from my job. So I thought, oh, I'll give it a go. And it sounds interesting. So I did. And it's like, and then the Nemesis construction was happening. So I was doing updates on that and people were following along, like keeping in touch because I was there so often. People wanted to know like multiple times a week, especially when that track was going in. It was so quick. And and it kind of just grew from there, and like just doing like park reviews or little facts and figures, things you didn't know about parks and stuff like that. And now like what I really enjoy doing is like the news updates. So like when Universal do something in Bedford, or like there's a new plans going into Thorpe Park. It's just stuff like that. Like that really excites me, and just keeping my finger on the pulse of like what's going in the UK theme park space. Yeah.
Have you been to Bedford site and seen?
Yeah, I've been a few times. Yeah, the pipe. Yeah, I've been a few times. It's just like you're saying to people like, "Oh, where you been?" I've been to a field, and they're just like, "Why you been there?" Like, there's nothing going on, but it's just like thinking about what it could be, or what it is going to be, and it's just so exciting. I can't wait to see it evolve.
Definitely. I just wanted to go and take a permanent marker to it, to be honest, because I was going to draw a knob or something for everyone. For everyone that was going to go like, video
I'm
that.
definitely going to draw a knob. Yeah, that'd be brilliant. Yeah.
Showing my immaturity there. Excellent. What are the plans for the future?
So last year I kind of chilled a little bit, but this year we've got 3 weeks in Orlando in September. We got Europa for the start of December. We've just booked. I want to do Park Asterix. I want to do Warner Madrid. Obviously, you got things like there'll be like Towers opening, Thorpe opening, the Bluey Coaster, Victus. What else there? Dracon, Portland's Park, and stuff like that. So it's going to be a busy year. Oh, Chesington with Paw Patrol as well. My daughter will love that. So
yeah, can't forget about old Chessie.
I know. Yeah, Chesington. Yeah.
Oh,
but yeah, it's going to be a busy year this year.
Great. Well, I really look forward to to watching all the content and seeing it all unfold. And once again, thank you very much for coming on.
No, it's my pleasure. It's been brilliant.
Another banger of an episode of Q Times. Who would you like to see next? Let me know in the comments.